Welcome to the Angmar Archives, a channel interested in the art and artifacts inspired by the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm Julian Maniv, and I'm delighted to welcome back Adam, Ryan, and Sam for what promises to be a monumental roundtable discussion. For those who are new to the channel, Adam runs the Collecting Art page on Instagram, Ryan is everyone's favorite cyber hobbit on YouTube, and Sam runs the Council of Tolkien page, also on Instagram. Gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to see you all again, and I hope you're just as excited as I am because we have a hell of a lot to get through today. But if I may say, should we do our job right, heads shall be shaken, keyboards shall be splintered, and on this hot summer day, we go forth ere the night rises. And if that's not an epic enough introduction, I don't know what is. So how are you all doing? And it's lovely to see you all.
Doing great. Got chills.
Excellent. That was the purpose of it. So let me share my screen and we will get going from there. 1 second. Right. Let me know when you can see okay. Great.
Ready.
Right. Well, I thought we have to start with the breaking news. That is, Ents have been spotted in the Shire. We have recently seen this little letter, which was available on auction at Christie's, I think. And it is a new letter from, I think, 1966 to a lady called Jenny Hall. And it gave us a little bit of information that certainly has been a matter of speculation for decades. And that is, what were the walking elms in the Shire? And it seems like Tolkien himself has confirmed that a good 60 years ago. And we finally have the confirmation. And we also have the confirmation that it is the Crick Hollow was actually meant to resemble the little Welsh town of Crickhowell. So have you guys seen this letter? Are you following
briefly.
these kind of?
Yeah, I saw it for a brief, but other than just being like, well, that's good to know, I guess.
Yes. Well, I don't know if you've seen it was, I think, sold on Friday, and it went for £15,000.
Wow.
To the town of Crickhowell in Wales. But with the auction house fees, I think it came up to 19,500 pounds or so. So I suppose another little museum exponent for the town of Crickhowell. I'm sure the tourists will start flocking in. I did have a quick Google Map search, and Sam, it's only an hour and 50 minutes drive from you, so then you've got no excuse really.
I'll have to go check it out.
But yes,
I think it's crazy. Someone's just sat on that for like all those years, and everyone's been. It's always been a thing of debate, hasn't it? Like, what was it that the hobbits saw?
What were the hobbits looking at? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
now we know.
Cool.
And it does make you wonder, how many other letters like these still exist that, we just don't know about. It does seem to be quite prolific.
The Empires are dead now, though, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. They're definitely not there. But yes, and I quite like the way that Tolkien couldn't help himself just to add that asterisk and just a little clarification there as well as he was signing it clearly. So yeah, the kind of the never-ending, creation in his mind seems to be just going on. So yeah, very, very nice little artifact, and actually would be quite nice to go and see this eventually. But yes, very, very nice.
I think it adds an extra layer there.
And new letters.
Yeah. New letters book.
The even more expanded letters.
I'll take it. I'll buy it every time. It's fine.
Absolutely. Well, from one little remarkable thing to another, this is a something that came to me completely out of the blue, and I don't know whether you guys have seen it, but it is a 1/4 scale
Metal
full
version.
metal full metal version of Sauron, done by this company Altaya in France, and it's in collaboration with Weta. So this is the
Oh wow.
Fabio Paiva sculpt of Sauron, but it is in 1/4 scale, and it is a kit of parts that you can actually assemble yourself. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah,
I
I
have.
saw it briefly, saw that it was a metal version, saw the scale and was like, wow, that, sounds really, really cool. Probably not something that I would be interested in just because I literally have another quarter scale Sauron and it looks like it also. Um,
Yes.
really
Yes,
cool
the
though.
po
Like I have no idea what this something like that would cost.
Mm.
I don't think it's that expensive. Actually, whenever, I mean, I say that, but it's not too dissimilar to what a Prime 1 quarter scale costs.
Is there any
I
way
think
you
in
can
euros. Mhm.
is there any way you can zoom in the middle of that image right there?
Ooh, this might challenge my
I
PowerPoint abilities, but yes.
It's pretty good.
for a second I thought those were like 3D print lines, but I guess not.
No.
Mm.
It's interesting. I mean, I wonder whether they cast every element or oh goodness, this is um, zoomed out a bit too much. Um, yes, and I love the chainmail that they've done, and they seem to have done a couple of really interesting bases as well as options. So you can do the base, kind of the plain base, or you can do a for an extra 199 euro per whatever installment. You can get this kind of light up base, which seems like a bit of a no-brainer. I'm I'm not sure that I love this base, but it certainly seems to be worth having for that price.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought overall it's a really cool piece. It seems like a very nice alternative to the Prime 1/4 scale, and I think the fact that it is the Weta officially licensed, full metal version is just there's just so much going for it.
Yeah.
The
Did they
cape
release a
seems to
price
be.
for it yet?
I think it's broadly speaking. I think it's about 1,500 euros, maybe between 1,500 and 1,800 euros. So it's
Wow.
not it's not remarkably more expensive compared to a polystone
That would be
statue.
cheaper than finding the Prime 1/4 scale
Yeah,
Sauron. Now the aftermarket price is way beyond that. So
it would be, and it is. I think the way it works is that actually you buy like an installment plan, and I don't know whether it's every week or every other week or whatever, but you basically get this little kit of parts in
yeah,
your post, and then
I
you
forget
assemble it.
they do a
Mhm.
bunch of these different types of things, right? Like I forget what it was. There was another, I don't know if it was like something Star Wars related or like
Yeah.
Robocop or something, but I remember seeing like they every week they send you
Yeah.
pieces and all the instructions
Another
are
kit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that with like a model of the Titanic. Like it's insane. There's like a 200 different packages you get or something like that. I might be exaggerating,
I
but
remember when I was looking them up, I was like, is there any way I can just buy all the parts already?
yeah.
And like over an entire year and just have this like assembled parts. So just
Agreed.
like 1 week you just get a leg, right? Like
Yeah. Well, I've made some inquiries with Altaya, and their UK distributor is called FanHome, and I think FanHome also is in the US.
Mhm.
So I certainly know a couple of folks in the US have asked them And both FanHome UK and FanHome US seem to have said that they don't know whether these will be available as a set in the UK or the US. So currently it is only available in France. So it seems like the only opportunity to get this is if you have a particularly friendly French collector friend who can do this, get this for you, and then ship it all to you when it's all done, which may well be an option. But yeah, I think it's a great set, and as you say, they seem to be doing all sorts of stuff from Formula One cars to the Lich King to Star Wars to ships. So it seems like a nice kind of little set, and the fact that it's the Weta model just really
What was
sells
the
it
name of
for
the
me, I
company
think.
again?
Altaya, and the US version is called FanHome. FanHome US. I like these little bonus parts of Sauron's sword and Elendo's helm and the dagger and Narsil. So very nice little set, and not remarkably expensive. I certainly expect it'll be a lot more than what it is.
I wonder
So
how solid it
uh,
is. Does it say if it's like hollow or it's a solid material? Like it's metal, but
it's metal. It's metal.
yeah,
I expect. I mean, looking at the parts, I think it is. It will be hollow inside, as a they will be hollow pieces of armor,
yeah.
but it does look like it is solid solid metal. I don't know what metal, presumably aluminium, but because I guess steel would be very heavy. But I mean, aluminium in itself will be quite there will be quite a nice weight to it. So um, yeah, it looks great.
It looks good.
Um, yeah, yeah. Um, so yes, a nice little set to consider. Something that I really didn't really expect. Um, so we're moving swiftly from one very interesting thing to another that I'm sure Sam hasn't stopped thinking about, and that is the Shadow and Flame whiskey by Syzygy Forge. Um, Adam, I think you've pre-ordered this.
I have, yeah. Pre-ordered it right away. I was
Thank
fascinated
you.
by this. So
Brilliant,
I'm really excited to give it a go. I'm looking forward to what Syzygy is. Is that how you say it? Syzygy or Syzygy?
Have you ever had that
Good.
brand of whiskey before?
I have. Not from them, but I've had this type of whiskey before. Not like it. I think it's a special. Um, it's a
Blend or
type
yeah,
of thing specifically for this release, but I've had whiskey similar to how he's describing it.
I'm
Yeah, I
very
saw it,
excited
thought it
for
was
this.
interesting. Probably not
Mhm.
something I would have get until I hear reviews on it or not.
Right.
Mhm.
But looks pretty cool. Like the bottle.
The bottle is
Y-
nice.
So you
Yeah, I
haven't tried it
mean,
yet, Adam?
What's that?
You haven't tried it yet?
Oh no, I haven't tried Jordan's whiskey yet, but I've had whiskey how he's describing it. I've had similar malt whiskeys to what he's describing, but I'm looking forward to seeing how unique this is.
it certainly looks cool, but how it tastes, you'll have to describe it for us.
I will, yeah.
We can't get it over here. What is happening? The French model can't be sent out of France, and this whiskey can't be sent out of the US. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Um,
Alcohol's always been an issue in
it is,
this
yeah.
country.
It also doesn't seem to be available in all states as well. I think there is a bit of an exclusion list. So it does seem, I mean, if you can get it, I'm sure it's going to be great. But yeah, I've even been wondering whether just to get the bottle, you know, get one in America, and then just somebody drinks it and then sends me the bottle because
Send you the bottle.
you could fill it in with any whiskey, really. I'm sure it's the bottle that is kind of the remarkable thing. I think in this case,
I'll
I
buy
hope
you
the
one and we'll fill it with apple juice.
yes, please. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. I did enjoy the back label. The kind of the blue seems quite a nice little alternative to the kind of the red that's on the back of that. So I like the idea that the Balrog is behind the liquid. And I do wonder, what different colors of whiskey would do to it. But yeah, I think it looks great. I hope it tastes great. And I think it's gonna ship in September or October or something. So
Yeah.
we'll have to do a live drinking session of this, I think, whenever it comes.
Oh, I'll get a display going. Okay.
Excellent.
Get my shot glass out.
Well, staying on the Moria theme, I thought it might be good to have a quick look at the InfinityStudio line because they've released another new half-scale piece, and I suppose I sort of just stood back a little and thought that they've actually released quite a lot of these now, and it doesn't feel that way until you kind of line them up and see their entire line. Arwen being the latest edition, quickly on the footsteps of Galadriel, which was only a few months away. It seems, but at half scale, it's quite a lineup. Um, I don't collect these, but I can't say that they're not impressive looking. Certainly in these promotional images, they do seem like a great set. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I was actually pretty impressed with Arwen. Like the
Hmm.
pretty nice on her, and Gimli as well. But I heard some
You
people
haven't,
were really happy with how Aragorn came out.
right? Was he the one that had the slightly old kind of looking face?
I'm not really sure. I just remember hearing a bunch of
I
people comment.
remember the photos for the Aragorn, and
Uh-huh.
someone unboxed it. They took the head sculpt out, and they were like, who is
Oh goodness.
this?" It's pretty. I've seen the photos. It's not great. I've seen Legolas look okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
From the promotional images, Galadriel and Arwen look pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
that,
It's the problem with
that
Vigo, isn't it?
yeah, Vigo seems to be an issue for many people, many companies.
It
To
does
try.
seem very difficult. Yeah.
The Queen Studios is pretty good. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's
Hmm.
pretty close, I think. I think it's the closest any company's gotten, even Weta,
Hmm. Hmm.
Vigo's likeness.
And the Queen Studio is what scale again?
Third,
One, yeah,
so it's
one.
smaller
Third
than
scale.
yours.
Hmm. Yeah, it is quite interesting. I think the promotional kind of model, there does seem to be quite a big difference to the production model, and that seems to be a theme that we'll maybe be looking at later on as well with J&D's offer of Aragorn. But Vigo does seem to be the most difficult of faces to capture. So um, I guess the rest are maybe a little bit, well, not all of them, but some of them, like Gandalf and Gimli and the Witch King, are probably a bit easier. Um, well, the Witch King most easy, I suppose. Although their original promo images were quite different from the movie, but I did quite like them. I actually think it was a better, more interesting model than what they ended up doing with the kind of more film accurate version. But some people do really like accuracy, so I guess that's why they had to do it. But I suppose Arwen is their their latest offering, and I have to say, from what I've seen from these images, she does seem pretty good. Um,
Mm.
Probably the best Arwen we've seen in the kind of in this 1/2 scale, larger than 1/6 offering.
Did J&D do that?
They have done an Arwen, and we will look at her very briefly at the end of this, but I really did not like their Arwen. I thought
Okay.
she looked like one of the Kardashians, rather than the one we're used to.
I
But
think
this
the
one
biggest
seems
issue
quite
with the
nice.
sorry, didn't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off,
go
Jordan.
ahead.
The biggest issue I think with the J&D for me, I think they did adjust her head sculpt, so it wasn't too bad, but I think the
Hmm.
costume was my biggest complaint. Like,
Hmm.
I know what they were going for, but this is what I've really wanted in an Arwen statue for a long time. I know she was Weta did this, but she was on Asphaleth with
Hmm.
Frodo.
Hmm.
But this standalone pose with Hathafang, that's that's what I've always wanted an Arwen kind of statue to
Hmm.
be, but that's just me. But
She does look really good, and I do hope others follow and do a similar costume. It does seem like something that maybe others will kind of consider. They all seem to be doing similar enough characters, so I wouldn't be surprised if Queen's Studios also, you know, tries their hand. But I think the likeness on this is pretty good. Infinity do seem to be good in these again promotional images, but whether the production piece lives up to it is seems to be questionable. I like the base as well. I think they've done a good job with the base, although I do not like the little sign, the kind of Lord of the Rings logo. It just seems unnecessary.
Yeah, it makes things a bit tacky.
Yeah, yeah, just a little bit kind of, and it just doesn't seem necessary. I don't know why they have to do it or why they do it, whether they have to do it or not. But this was the J&D, and it just does not work for me. It just seems to be it's a different person. Yeah, I don't think it's one of their best, considering they've got some really remarkable pieces.
Yeah.
Um, as a company, their Lord of the Rings line seems to be particularly weak, I think, compared to their other lines. So yeah, a bit disappointing, but maybe they'll improve over time. Adam, I agree. I think the costume, the kind of the dress they've chosen, I don't know what they were thinking with this, but yeah, it just does not seem right.
I think it's
But
supposed to be the brief moment that Frodo's like hallucinating after he gets
yeah,
stabbed. Like it's supposed to be Arwen in that dress coming through the light, but it's
yeah,
I don't think it's executed quite well here, but
no, no, yeah, it is a bit disappointing, but maybe they will improve.
mhm.
But um, as well as statues, Arwen has recently been depicted in painting as well, and I don't know if you guys have seen these paintings. These are pastels, and they are hyper real, but I find myself thinking that they're not as dry hyper real. There's something more painterly to them, and they're by a Spanish artist called Ruben Belloso Adorna, and he seems to be probably similar age to us, but he just seems to be an absolute master of these pastel paintings, and he's done a whole set of them that will soon be available as officially licensed art prints. As far as I know, they will probably start releasing in September. I don't know whether there will be open editions or limited editions, but they are very, very good. I don't know how he does it, but he somehow, to my eyes, captures. There's a liveliness to them. They don't feel hyper real and dry. They feel they feel like a live. They feel like a real painting. And I think they're remarkable. I'm not sure whether I will be ordering any of them, but I certainly appreciate the skill and the I think the amazing quality of them. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that wormtail looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them have looked great, but that stands out a little more to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
If
at
you
first glance, you're almost like, it looks like a shot straight from the movie, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
exactly,
it's
yeah.
hard to tell.
yeah.
It was like a really small thumbnail or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
I would never have noticed that this was a painting. Like the smaller you get, the more it's like, oh, it's just from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
it's
the
incredible.
And I think that's quite interesting that whenever you zoom into them, you could feel the hand, you could feel the, the pastel, which to me is really interesting that they do feel like screenshots in the sense of what they're portraying, but they also feel like paintings. They don't feel like for once the aspect ratio is completely different, and the kind of the level of detail recedes and fades into the background quite nicely. So they're not the level of detail seems to be very nicely judged that they disappear as the detail of the front or of the foreground is elaborated. And I find these remarkable. These kind of, you know, um, I mean that is pastel. I'm kind of lost for words on some of these. The the eyes just feel alive, and it's a very very difficult thing to achieve. And yet they are they are well I say just they are paintings. They're not printed or screenshots. Um,
Has he done Vigo? Because I haven't seen Vigo yet. Can no one do Vigo?
He has,
Has it?
and I think he is the last one of this set. But look at the eyes on this one. It's just
That's pretty
it's
good.
so good. And again, that kind of very general background of just tone and shapes rather than specificity.
Yeah.
I think they look really really good. I can imagine these would be great if you're into kind of autograph signings and going to conventions. I suspect these would be a really beautiful thing to have. There's Vigo. I think he
No,
finishes
not
on
no, I'm kidding. No,
that.
that's not Vigo. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. That's incredible.
It's really great. Funny enough, of all of them, I would say Vigo maybe has the less likeliness.
Oh,
Still
it's
really
a
If
good.
bit
he's
softer. Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
was thinking
it's
the same.
clearly still him. That one looks great. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
he seems to have done him a couple of times, and I think he's got it. I think he's captured it.
Yeah.
And I love the Oathbreakers in the behind the kind of the King of
Mhm.
the Dead and some of the detail that he manages to get in the background without competing. I think they're really good. I can imagine these would be very very good kind of prints if they're printed on nice archival paper. So I don't know when the announcement will be coming out for these, but yeah, I was speaking with Ruben last week, and he seems to he seems to suggest that September, now that they've got the kind of license sign off. So really good to see a kind of a new artist coming up with such amazing pieces. out of nowhere, really. I certainly hadn't expected these, and they only seem to kind of arrive in the last few months. So very, very good. Well, continuing on with Vigo and the difficulty of his likeness. This is the J&D Vigo Aragorn 1/3 scale, and I struggle. I'm not sure that they've gotten this one right either. These are the images of the production piece, not the prototype. And if anything, I think they've slightly gone backwards on the prototype images. There seems to be a lot of questionable decisions. For one, it seems to be straight out of the dry cleaners, and I don't particularly get the pose. Seems to be slightly awkward, kind of slightly bent knees. I don't know. There's something odd about it. And looking at the face and the portrait itself,
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
That's a good call. I thought Gary Oldman in
Gary
the what do you call him? Sirius Black. You know,
Yeah.
did it, but it is not. It does not seem to me. There's something odd about it, and I don't know what it is.
I think it's his hair is a little maybe thicker than it should be.
Yeah.
It does feel like it, yeah.
Like a little poofier maybe or something.
His
yeah.
face is like thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the J&D piece?
Not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but something about the hair, something about the face, maybe a combination of both of them. Jim Caviezel, Gary Oldman is Sirius Black. I definitely see like one of the Three Musketeers in there.
Yes, yeah, D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan or Athos, Porthos, Aramis, one of them.
Yes, yeah.
But I kind of struggle to see Vigo and J&D's offering. I do hope people who receive this piece really love it. I've seen some mixed reactions to the production photos, but I hope people will like it in person more so than in a picture.
I mean, it's interesting, Adam, you've got the same scale, 3rd scale Queen Studios version in hand, which is also mixed media.
Yeah.
But, looking at that piece, like everything seems to be just feels much more authentic. I don't even the clothing and the kind of the weathering. I don't know what it is about this one, but none of it feels, lived in. It just feels very clean. It just looks
Yeah.
very plain.
It looks fabricated, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like it feels, what's the word? It just feels like,
Cosplay?
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
great way to
It
put
does.
it.
Yeah. Very strange. I don't know why the J&D don't seem to be able to get this one. I mean, as you say, I really hope for everyone that has ordered it that it is much better in person. But those production images don't sell it for me. But Vigo is very, very difficult. But whether you're in 1/3 scale or 1/4 scale or 1/2 scale or 1/6 scale, but the other release of Vigo and Aragorn in the classic series of Weta, similar costume, but again, it just seems a lot more, lived in and weathered, despite not being, being half the size. But
That's one of my always issues with mixed material stuff is, clothing on humans, like it
Yeah.
fits because it has our physics and gravity encountered into it. With when
Yeah.
it's smaller, it's hard to get clothing and stuff, I
Hmm.
think, to fit right because it doesn't have maybe the same weight that it would in real life. I mean, there
Yeah.
are definitely plenty of examples that look great, but um, that's kind of why I've started leaning into more just statues that have
Yeah.
it fixed into the exact position that can never change.
Yeah, I think it's also the scale of the material texture. In a sculpt, you can do that. Um, I suppose not more easily, but it's a material texture. It's not a fabric that is woven. So whenever you're doing a half scale version of something, um, it's very difficult to get all materials. Some are easier to replicate at a smaller scale, but I was reminded of I don't know. I'm sure you've seen those massive sculpts that Weta have done for their Gallipoli exhibition, where
Oh,
they had kind of overscaled, soldiers, and they had to scale the thread to be the right, size at that scale. And I think that's when you get that reality. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Some fabrics lean more into it and are more easily, I suppose, doable to do that. But I think, as we can see with the J&D piece, there's something odd about it. Whereas in a kind of solid sculpt, you can do away with that.
yeah.
The Staying with the three hunters, we had the latest and to my eyes greatest of the three. We had the review of Gimli. Has Do you guys have any of these, or seem to
I have
recall,
here.
Ryan, you have Aragorn?
Yeah, I don't have Legolas though. I think he just started shipping out to people not too long ago.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. Are you tempted, or are you
I'll probably get them eventually.
mhm.
It's the open edition. There's really kind of no rush unless you wanted that special prop that came with it.
Oh
Of course,
yes, yeah, yeah,
scale. But I thought it would be pretty cool. I think you guys know Andy Me.
Mhm.
He
yeah.
kind of makes these like uh, extensions of pieces that Weta does, and I thought it would be really cool to have somehow something that could make all three of them kind of go in together and kind of be a one complete thing, kind of like wrap around their bases to join them all together.
Yeah.
Yes, a kind of nice rock joint plinth that you can slot these in.
Mm.
I think
That'd be
this is
quite cool.
be a
Yeah,
great example of doing that for something that they all clearly have the same, base structure because they're all in
yeah,
Isengard.
I have Aragorn, and again with the likeness, not the strongest.
yeah,
You get essence, I think, more with that piece than you actually get the physical likeness of
Yeah, the
Vigo.
pose and
yeah,
everything. But
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I don't have Legolas. I don't know if I will. I do have the I'm on Hen Legolas and Gimli,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
actually quite satisfied with that.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
that Gimli is exceptional. The classic series Gimli. Um, I have some issues with the Legolas pose. I feel like it's a little awkward.
the beard on the Gimli looks way better than even the recent Master Collection piece. There's
Yeah.
just way more detail in the sculpt of the beard.
Mm.
I think he's great. I think Gimli is definitely the best of the three.
Mm. Mm.
Oddly enough, on the Legolas, there was like the boots for some reason are done in like black instead of
Oh
the
yeah.
normal brown. Typically, they're supposed to kind of match the van
Mm.
braces, and they were
Mm.
just a different
Right?
color. Not sure why
I
that
hadn't
happened.
noticed that. Yeah. I do struggle a bit with that Legolas piece. I think the pose is quite awkward, Adam, as you say. There is something odd. I mean, we talked about it, the kind of slight bewilderment of it. But in some angles, that kind of face-on angle is probably its best.
It's like
But some of the other ones are just kind of odd.
Yeah.
But Gimli just seems to be perfect. I've got no complaints. I think he is terrific. Jason, he just seems to be knocking them out of the park every time. I think he did Boromir as well, and they're brilliant. I think he manages to get that detail and poise really really good. Gimli is does seem terrific. I'd definitely be going to be ordering him, but as you say, down the line, there's no particular rush with these open edition pieces now.
A good Black Friday opportunity is what I'm
Yeah.
I
reading.
think so. I think so. It'd be nice if they actually did a kind of the Three Hunters, bundle. I know they had done this before as I think it was with the Justice League, but
Hmm.
it'd be nice if they did this with those three because it seems like a nice opportunity to get all three. If for those of us that don't have any of them,
Yeah.
Ryan, you think it actually is some ways better than the Masters collection then?
I was more talking about the beard
The
itself.
beard, the beard,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, just I was when I was like doing my review, I was
Mm-hmm,
looking at different photos of this one just in comparison, and it definitely
mm-hmm,
has more kind of like like random strains kind of going in different directions. The Master Collection was good. It was just very kind of ornate, um,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and not really kind of messed up like it probably would be had the
mm-hmm.
hundreds of miles that they've been traveling at this point. So
Yes, maybe he's had a little bit of time to cone it while they were,
yeah, exactly.
in Moria for the big preparation. Well, another 1/6 scale piece that kind of came out of the blue is this Smeagol and Deagle diorama, I suppose. And I mean, my first impression of this was that it is, it is amazing. I'm not sure it's for me, but I think it looks great. And I think if anything, it does what the Dead Marshes Masters Collection did, but better. I don't quite know why, but maybe because it's a bit more compressed. It feels really really good to me. What do you guys think?
Another amazing example of what it will do that no other companies will. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
This
it's
when I saw this first, it was like that tease, and I thought it was a mistake. Like Weta sent the way it was like an email, and it showed
Oh
like a
yeah, yeah.
screenshot of somebody's phone to Andy Serkis, and they're
Uh-huh.
like, what do you think?" And you're reading this, and you're like, "Were they supposed to send that out to everybody?" It felt very private, but it was a really cool way to kind of promote, like, "Hey, this is what's coming," and Andy's all on board. And I love that they got him to hold the statue in the promo
Yeah,
image.
yeah.
This, I know, I can see what you mean about it's a more refined Dead Marshes. The Dead
Yeah.
Marshes, I thought that was amazing artistically. Um, I don't have that piece, but from where I'm kind of sitting looking at this, I feel like, yes, this is a bit more cleaner, refined, um, more solid looking, which is strange to
Mm,
say. It's a floating material that
hmm.
terrifies me in a lot of ways, but I'm kind of excited. I'm definitely on board for this one. I will be getting this at some point.
Yeah. I won't be getting this one, but I love the whole layered effect that they're managing to get on these models. The same with the Dead Marshes one. I think it's just like it just again, like you guys have said, it shows what Weta are capable of that no one else will think of.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, even the little yeah, you can see the little ring down there, and it's just like it's such an iconic moment and iconic scene.
Yeah.
And I think that point that they are very keen on doing things that nobody of us expected. I think that's really lovely. That they, after 25 years, they're still, have the enthusiasm and the, I suppose, artistry to just go for something that is completely out of the blue. Really, really cool piece. I'm in two minds whether I'll get it, whether it just fits in my collection or not. But I'm very excited to see some in-hand photographs whenever it does start to ship. The
Funny, when I
Mhm.
first saw this, I don't know why, I just maybe never paid much attention to it in the film, but the kind of boat thing that they're in, I never realized was just kind of like this like circle.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why in my head they were always on a boat. And I
Hmm.
never was looking at the pictures of the statue, realized it's kind of just like a floating
A
almost.
tub,
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
a turtle shell upside down.
Pretty sure it's the
That's very
same
cool.
tub Gollum still has later on, isn't it? When he's even in the Hobbit.
No, yeah, yeah.
And
I think that's more of like a raft, but
Was
wouldn't
it?
that be amazing if Gollum just brought that boat with him everywhere he went, like to hide in the Misty Mountains?
uh-huh.
Um, it that's a good point. Yeah, I never noticed it was a big circle.
That's very, very cool.
Oh, the
I
water
mean
looks so cool.
the water, the detail of the water is remarkable.
Yeah.
yeah. I also never realized how big that fish was too. I guess because you never
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
in the same shot, but he's a big one.
Uh, I mean, the fish was, and forgive me for blaspheming here, but it was one of the ropier CGI moments in the films.
yeah.
But it does look great in this. It almost looks better than, than it did in the scene. I think there's some moments there, particularly when Deagle is being dragged, that just seemed a little bit awkward. But I think this captures that moment beautifully. Um, yeah, I'm very, very interested to see this in once it starts shipping. The kind of the river rocks and the detail of the riverbed just looks great. I really, really like it.
Oh yeah.
Well, speaking of things you can find in the river, the other piece that we recently got revealed is Merry and Pippin. That's a miniature statue in what seems to be a new diorama line that is not quite, it's not 1/6 scale, it's not their miniature line with the kind of no base. It seems to be something new where there is, a pair of characters and a little bit of base to it. The These ones are, I think it's fair to say, probably the most requested pose for Merry and Pippin that I can think of. And we've certainly discussed this previously on the channel as a potential classic series option of the two of them on the wall. And I think they've done a really good job with this. But I am disappointed it's not 1/6.
That was my initial thought when I first saw the pictures. Like, oh man, it's not 1/6. That would have been
Yeah.
perfect.
That would have been perfect.
And it is a strange one that they've decided not to do it in 1/6 because I think this is, if you're ever gonna have a Merry and Pippin statue, this is it. If you don't have any other ones, I would have thought this is ideal. And I mean, now that they've done it as this kind of miniature diorama piece, I do wonder whether that's just killed the possibility of doing it in the future in 1/6 scale. But for the size that it is, I think they're pretty good.
I'm not
They're
sure they
not.
quite got the faces right.
They're they're a bit odd. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Mary probably a little bit better than Pippin.
Yeah, Pippin looks like one of the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of John Lennon there, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, and maybe if it was 1/6, that would have been That would have been a bit easier. It's not significantly bigger, but it is a bit bigger.
I guess they're trying to make him look a bit buzzed.
Yes. Yes, yeah. Will any of you guys picking this one up, or is it a pass?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I haven't decided yet. I'm excited to
Hmm.
see what they do for the miniature kind of Dio line. And I think this is a really good, strong start. I'm not convinced I'll get it yet, but I guess there's no real rush
Hmm.
to go for it.
Hmm.
Yeah, some of the likeness things are it is what it is, but you
Hmm.
get the heart of it, I think. The essence is sort of there.
Yeah, I mean, from that, that size right there,
Yeah,
it's hard to really see issues with likeness, but
exactly.
once you get closer, you can see it. But that's kind of how grain of salt with all the things is. Even in like the reviews and stuff I made, I'm zoomed in really far with a high quality camera, and that's not how you see it normally. So
Exactly.
And I think that's something we should all always bear in mind when looking at these. Like, this is probably the size that it is now is probably roughly the size it actually is in reality.
Mhm.
So, whenever we're looking at these, uh, 10 times bigger, portraits than they actually are, your impression of them will be very different. I think this is where scale in reality is so important. And decisions of scale are quite different if you're making a 1/6 scale to a 1/10 scale to a 1/4 scale, because digitally, you can zoom in infinitely, but the reality of it, you actually have to make some kind of bigger calls and bigger kind of moves that give the impression. And I think this has the impression perfectly as
Exactly.
a composition, as a piece, as characters, than the actual likeness when you zoom in that much closer. So I am excited for it, but as Treebeard might say, they are very small. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Maybe when in a couple of years' time we have more of this diorama line, and you could line them all up and see the kind of, you know, them as a set rather than as a one-off. Maybe then it will work better. But yeah, I think it is a missed opportunity, alas. But let's see. Well, there's another little miniature that was released, again, slightly out of nowhere. I didn't really expect a kind of character like this, but it does look great. It's the Berserker,
Mhm.
um, and similarly, I'm not sure whether I will be picking this one up. Certainly not immediately, but it does look really cool. Adam, I think you've got all of the kind of miniature creatures, or most of them at least.
Most of them. I'll definitely pick this one up eventually. The creatures in mini form, I think it's a pretty great alternative to trying to. A lot of them are very big in the world of the movies. So to have them in a
Yes.
small form, I think is a really nice, way to not break your bank.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I, and honestly, I'm sure there's a couple of Uruks I'd love to see redone as a 6 scale creature figure. Um, this one I think it works really well as a mini. I'll
Mm.
definitely pick this one up. I think it'll look great with, you know, I can picture it now, like with
Mm-hmm.
Orthanc or maybe around
Saruman
House
even.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. I think it did come out of nowhere, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
all here for it. I think one day I will pick this one up.
Mm-hmm. Sam, I was wondering, are you not ever considering these that kind of probably work quite well with your Games Workshop kind of, much
Well,
smaller scale?
I'm just, if I look to my right, I've got 18 little berserkers right there. So I feel like
you've got your fill.
yeah.
Excellent.
No, I would think about the berserker. Like, I don't know about you guys growing up. That was probably my favorite orc from like the Urukai. I think it was just that whole bit when they come up on top of the ladders. You're just like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Really
So
cool.
I can see why they've done it, because I think people will buy it and it will sell well.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just, I don't know if they're the most iconic of the Urukai, because you probably have to, you know, I'd probably give that to like the likes of Lurtz and the Scouts and stuff. But yeah, they're a cool one.
I did wonder whether they would ever consider doing one of those captains or generals type, fully armored with the helmets, not
A big helm.
the big helm and proper plate armor, the kind of standing on the rock at Helm's Deep, leading the charge. I feel like that could be a really, it's a nameless character, but it does feel like a really cool,
Here.
Oh, have you got it?
Yeah, it's a little. I can get it out.
Uh-huh.
They do all of these.
Brilliant.
It's good. It's good. You probably won't be able to see very well with the camera, but there's that chap who was the one standing on the rock.
Yes, that's the
And
one.
then they
That's
did
the
like
one.
an upgraded one with him actually on the rock as well.
Oh, right, lovely.
Yeah.
I think we need these. I think these would be great. Maybe in 1/6 scale though, please.
Yeah.
Well, going from miniatures to bigatures, I think we had the probably one of the most anticipated reveals of the last couple of years, really. It must be at least 2 years since this was first teased, but the 1/4 scale Treebeard by Prime One is finally out, and I think up for pre-order very, very soon.
I can only imagine the price on this.
I know. Oh my gosh.
So I
Well,
was really excited when this first, was announced that they were doing it. And I don't know why in my head, I didn't really translate 1/4 scale Treebeard to how big that would be. But wow,
1/4 scale Treebeard is life size. Anything else?
yeah,
it is a person, yeah.
literally is a human height, and like there's no way I could ever have fit something like that into my collection. Just clearly no room, but it's very impressive looking, that's for sure.
But the subject of price, I think, is interesting because their cave troll, which is probably half the height but twice the width, was not you know was not incredibly expensive. Like it was 2.5 grand or so, but in the grand scheme of things, it is not.
That's
It's not
interesting.
10,000.
I had no idea it was that
So
cheap.
I wouldn't be surprised if this comes at about 3,000 or 3,500 maybe. I think it's going to be less than the Masters Collection. Um, I don't know how they do it, but they seem to be able to produce these at scale and not at a crazy price. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
I wonder if this is the tallest statue they've done.
Wouldn't be far from it. Yeah.
I don't think. I don't know. It's hard because Prime One they do everything.
Do
And
everything, yeah. But
see some of their Transformers. Wow. um,
Mm,
you need a separate house for them.
yeah,
yeah. Did they not do a kind of a giant? I can't remember the name of the Iron Man kind of robot in 1/1 scale. Not the Iron Man costume, but the big robot sort of Megatron thing that
Oh,
in
the
Iron
Hulk
Age of
Monger.
Ultron. Yeah, I
Oh,
think they did that at 1/1 scale.
I think so.
wow.
Well, there it is. Q3 2026, 163 centimeters. I don't know whether he pays rent when he comes in, but it is giant. But I think it is genuinely remarkable. I think it's their best Lord of the Rings piece that they've done. I have been skeptical about some of their choices, particularly in terms of bases, but I think they've knocked this one out of the park. I think he looks great. And I
Comes
don't know
in
if you
6
go
boxes.
ahead. How many boxes you think? 6?
Just they probably would.
Wouldn't be
The
surprised.
shipping
Yeah,
is a killer.
yeah. I did really enjoy the kind of the make behind the scenes video. I think some of the one thing that is a bit of a pet peeve with Prime One for me is that their promotional images have all of these kind of crazy lighting and busy backgrounds. But actually, these kind of images, when you see it in normal lighting in person, I think it actually looks better than on those, incredibly produced visuals. I think these look great, where you could see the slightly more muted, tones. That it's not these kind of this sort of thing where there's a very animated background. The two orcs are great. I think they're a lovely addition. It would be really nice.
Merry and Pippin
I-
look really good as well.
Are those orcs like part of the main thing? Like, is that like a extended edition or
They're
bonuses?
add-ons. I think they're a kind of a deluxe, version where you can get two orcs on separate bases to pair with it. There's one image where you could see them more clearly.
They do have a deluxe edition, I think, Treebeard with the orcs, and then you can just buy Treebeard with the
Yeah.
hots, obviously. But yeah, options are good.
Still
Mm.
probably will be cheaper than the what 8,000, 9,000 that the Master Collection Treebeard goes for nowadays. So
Oh, definitely, definitely.
it's
Yeah.
an opportunity to be wanted a Treebeard to get one. So
Yes, yeah. Well, what a segue because I've just put in the Masters Collection for comparison for scale. Um, because I mean the Masters Collection is huge. It's over a meter, and this is double or nearly double. And I did a little kind of comparison of what the Masters Collection would have looked like at that scale.
Wow.
But the one thing that I do note is that I think in this image I was a little bit uneasy with the legs. It seemed a little bit too humanoid, the Prime one, compared to this. But actually, when you see it from the side, I think it looks better. I think it's much more tree-ish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You could see the two orcs here with the bases quite nicely. I think this is one of the nicest kind of angles of it with the rock. It just looks great. If I had the space and the cash and the room for it, certainly would have considered this one. I think it's going to be great, and it's going to be a real showstopper in any collection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's quite
Very
nice. Here you could see the orcs. I like the way you could just place them anywhere. They're not sort of locked in a particular position, so
good.
it
Yeah.
gives you a little bit of freedom of where you can put them. Yes, there's a person next to it. And it'll be a miss not to talk a little bit about Merry and Pippin as well, because I mean we've just had the miniature ones, and I think this is a good example of how difficult likeness is, because these are 1/4 scale, and yet I feel like they're not perfect either.
Yeah.
There's something quite weird about both of them, but again, we're looking at these probably 5, 6 times bigger than they actually are. And in these angles, I think they look really good. It's the sort of up close where some of the kind of more questionable decisions around hair and detail starts to come through, and lipstick in this particular image, I think. What do you guys think? Does the likeness feel better on these, or are they
Yeah,
a bit old?
I was going to say the side profile, they look really good earlier,
Yeah.
but yeah, now that you've done the close-ups, you kind of like, I think Merry looks a bit better than Pippin.
I think Billy
Yeah.
Boyd is another difficult
Yeah.
Yeah,
character to kind of master in any kind of
Hmm.
artistic form. But I mean, it's not. It's you get the feel of them for sure. Like I'm looking at
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, yeah, it's Pippin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, how close are you really going to look at them every
Yeah.
single day?
I
I
think they
think,
look a little bit expressionless. That might be what it is as well.
And right there, they look perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hard to complain about anything.
I'm just like
Yeah.
Pippin's about to throw a rock, but he's just like,
meh.
there's no, there's nothing
Yeah.
there.
It's a good point. It's a slightly neutral kind of,
Yeah,
expression.
Especially for a
Mary
character with
seems a bit better.
expressive
Say that
face.
again.
Mhm.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I'm sure whoever picks this one up. I wonder what the limitation size will be. It can't be. Can't imagine it'd be more than 300 or so, but maybe even 200. But I think it looks great. I think um, it'll be a real centerpiece. Well, moving from the massive to the from the 3D to the 2D. Again, another Mary, and this is the latest in the art card series by Weta, by Iona Brink. We've got Mary, we've got going wrong way. We've got Boromir, and we've got Eowyn. Adam, I think you've got all of these now. I don't know whether you've ordered these already, but
I have
what do you
not
think?
ordered these three because
Hmm.
right now they're not available. I think Mary's available from New Zealand, but the other two they're still on pre-order.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I'll definitely get these eventually.
Hmm.
Uh, Shipping right now, I'll probably just wait till they come into the States.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to add them on to the rest of them. Finish out the fellowship for sure. And Eowyn looks incredible. I love that she did the Durnhelm
Hmm.
outfit. She looks so good. I think that's my favorite out of these three so far.
Yeah, I
She's done,
agree. I think it's probably one of her best.
Mhm.
I think she's done the full fellowship now, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now we can move on to other characters. So
Yeah.
good
I'm
job.
curious to see if she'll do a villain sometime soon.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. It'll be nice if she does. It's a very nice set, and I
Mhm.
do I do wish that Weta comes up with a kind of. I was thinking, just been looking at these for a while on other projects, but I don't know if you've seen Concertina sketchbooks,
Yeah.
but it's basically a sketchbook which, unfolds like a concertina. And I wondered whether you could actually have a kind of concertina, pocket that you could just slot these in, and then, let's say on top of a shelf, you could have them, appear, and they're protected behind the cover in a very nice set that you could always fold and keep protected, rather than having them in a book that how often are you actually going to look through. So
Mhm.
I've wondered whether that might not be an option to make, or for maybe Weta in the future considers as a product that everybody who's bought these could buy and use.
Some sort of display option would
Yeah.
be, I think, wise for Weta to consider. I think that'd be a really cool idea. I don't know how they would do it, but I think it would be something they should definitely look into.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was interested that they jumped that they did she did jump to Eowyn because I think before that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. They were was all like Fellowship characters up until that point, or like in their Fellowship, and then they just kind of jumped to Return of the King with Eowyn, which that shows. I guess that shows they're not doing it in any particular order.
I think they did. I think they did Galadriel, but
Yeah, Galadriel and Arwen, I think, also. Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm curious what the reasoning for some of them have the kind of white silver border versus the gold. Maybe just kind of trying to mix it up.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder, like, the pattern of character selection or color choices.
And is it always one or the other? I don't have. I have only got Aragorn, I think. But is the gold and the silver always the same, or are they kind of warmer, or yellower, rosier, or whatever?
It depends. I mean, all the artistic backgrounds are different.
Yeah.
The silver and gold, I think there are slight variations with, like, you see that border, like the foliage around the border.
Yeah.
That's all usually the same, more or less. But anything inside, like with the circle in the background behind the characters, that's usually somewhat different in some way.
Yeah.
But
I was just wondering because even looking at and it might be one of those where the colors next to it make it look a bit different, but the gold rim of Mary seems a little bit warmer, a little bit redder compared to Eowyn, which seems a bit more yellowy. But I don't know whether that is just the lighting that they had when they were photographing these, or whatever, because it is quite reflective. But I think these look great.
I think it's the lighting, because you'll see like Boromir over here. He's very clear, but
Yeah.
the other two look a little faded.
Yeah.
And if you look at them in person, like I've got them all, not they're kind of just out. I have to decide what I'm going to do with them. But
how big are they? They like
A5.
So it's not. I don't know why in my head art card I'm thinking of like playing
They're
cards.
this kind of size, aren't they? They're this. I think they're this size, A5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a nice size. Bigger than art cards, certainly. They're well bigger than Magic cards or something like that. They are probably twice. Well, yeah, maybe twice as big, if not more. So, staying with Weta and staying with prints, but moving to a slightly different world. I just thought we'll maybe touch very briefly on these because Labyrinth is another favorite, and I saw that they've done this limited edition set of I think it's 400 of 3 Labyrinth prints to celebrate the 40th anniversary. These are all by Brian Froud, and he's probably one of the greatest fairy artists in ever lived. Really, I would say he's on par with Arthur Rackham, and he certainly did a very lovely book back in the day with Alan Lee on British fairies. There's a very nice edition where the front of it is the good fairies and the back of it is the bad fairies. But I was very, very pleased to see that he's done a kind of set for Weta of Labyrinth. I don't have many of the Weta Labyrinth pieces. I think I've only got Sir Didymus and Ambrosius, but I thought this is a very nice thing. And certainly I would consider it in the future as a very nice little triptych. Do you guys have any of their Labyrinth pieces, or?
Yeah, I've got the Ludo, Hoggle.
Oh yeah,
Still haven't ever opened them. Just sitting in a box, unfortunately. But
goodness.
I mean, like the world of the labyrinth is just so creative, and it's really cool to see these. I guess these are just kind of recreated or reimagining kind of things of the characters and stuff. But
Yeah, Yeah, they look
Yeah,
really.
they're just beautiful. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh no, I was just saying they look incredible. I love this style of like fantastical art. Um, it's just so whimsical. There's like a
hmm
feel of um, whimsy. Uh,
hmm
it
hmm
it's really really cool to see and something different. And it's such an iconic movie. I mean, it's such a cult hit, and I wish more people would watch it. Um,
Yeah,
it's so good.
absolutely. Yeah, I think David Bowie and as the Goblin King is one of the most iconic kind of images of the 80s. So yeah, very very happy to see that they did something for the 40th anniversary. Um, and
Well, he's sitting on a book.
yes, yeah, yeah, several of them. I was just gonna say I think this one's gonna look as an amazing statue. This could be absolutely brilliant. Not massive, but this is as a piece with his bird hat and the book throne. I think it could be phenomenal. But maybe in the future, who knows?
Was there a Labyrinth like novel? I don't even know.
Uh, I don't know. I don't feel like it was a, it probably was a book and I'm not sure, but
It's a good question. Yeah,
Because Sarah's got a book and the thing that she's actually reading from. I always kind of wondered if that was it.
oh.
possibly yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it was.
Um,
Uh,
oh,
says it was. It was published to tie in with the film, apparently.
oh, right.
Oh,
So it's one of those that is it's not a book in its own. It's
Yeah,
a tie-in. Yeah, cool. Very very nice. Well, staying with weather for a bit on the collector's choice. I just thought we'll have a quick look at the updates that we've received so far on the Númenórean Soldier. I mean, just briefly, I hope they do this again. They haven't done another poll this year, but I think it's been great and seeing the process and being kind of taken along the way with the behind the scenes and giving collectors the ability to be part of that selection. I think is has been great, and I think the collector community that got the kind of something really really exciting with this possibility of having to have a direct involvement in the creation of one of these pieces. This is the previous kind of digital sculpt update. I think this looks like Gary Hunt behind the keyboard. Um, Very very nice model. I think this particular camera angle looks great. And then the most recent cast of the prototype that looks excellent to me. Certainly will be a probably a day one pre-order. I don't know what you guys think.
I'll let you go, Adam.
uh, I, I feel like I'll eventually pick this up. I'm not really in a rush, I think,
Yeah,
for a Númenórean soldier, but I'm really glad it won. I'm also a little disappointed that it won because it beat out like a bunch of characters that we've never gotten in Polystone. So
true.
I'm still slightly bitter about that, but it's all good. That's democracy. It it looks very good. I think it's going to be right up there with the rest of the Last Alliance shelf. My main worry, I guess, is if I pick this up, then I have to try and hunt down a high elven warrior. So I'm not looking forward to that because Elrond is coming, and then it's like, well, what else can I put in this?
I
Um,
know.
it does look very good, and I am excited. So um, I'm not in a rush right now to pick
Mhm.
this up.
I think everyone had like when it won, everyone kind of had reservations, and they were just kind of like, oh, just going to be a bit of a plain kind of soldier. But I think now it's starting to come together. I think people are going to get more excited for it.
Mm-hmm. There's just something about the armor and the design of those that it is so good that and I think the kind of choice of the calmer pose does really help, show off the it's very similar to Elendo in some ways, only with a shield. The base seemed quite simple so far, but yeah, I think it's going to be great. Very excited for it, and similarly excited for this one, the other ring wraith in the classic series option. I think this one would also be a very easy pre-order. Slightly worried about the height of it, but it does look great. And yeah, I can't wait to add this one. I hope they do all five.
It's almost
Go
like an
ahead.
Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan's like combat stand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Very-
it
It
is.
looks really great though. Like,
It does, yeah. And I'm glad that they've slightly, well, from what I can see, slightly calmed the face down a bit. It's not one of the kind of weirder, facial
I
expressions.
remember us talking about this last year, I think, when
Yes,
they started, like, I was like, they have to refine those faces. There's no way
yeah,
getting, like,
yeah,
they are quite a sight when you look at them without the special effects and everything. I'm like, they have to calm that down. And it
yeah,
looks like they did.
yeah. I think he looks on par with the Witch King, which I think will be excellent. I think there's one particular really weird one that, I hope they calm down as well if they eventually get to do. But yeah, there's just something about the kind of simplicity of these that I can imagine a shelf of five of them side by side would just look amazing.
You will.
Well, staying on Weathertop, we've got our first environment for the year. And it is Weathertop. It is a bigger and better Weathertop. Um, and again, it sort of came out of nowhere. It sort of wasn't one that they teased in advance as they did Kirisongo and Green Dragon last year. And they just seemed to release it well a month before San Diego. But it is it's a significant change from the little sideshow Weta piece that they had done. And yeah, I wonder what your thoughts are.
looks great. I just wish I had the space for it.
If we, I know three of us have ordered it, but Ryan, have you not ordered it yet?
Passed on it.
It's a
I
pass.
would love to. There's the urge in me of like, oh, I want to collect everything, but sometimes it just
Yeah.
have to find the
Yeah,
ones that I would be okay without. Not to say that it looks phenomenal. Like, the little LED light for the fire and everything. Like, it looks great, but it'll be another. I don't know how big they're with the photo of the guy who was holding it. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, it's just gonna be too big.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm glad they upscaled it. But I totally understand because, excuse me. I'm starting to slow down a bit in my collecting. There are certainly things I would love to buy, but space is becoming a premium.
hmm.
Uh, and I have to be kind of picky. I think after, depending on what we see at San Diego Comic-Con, I might have to reconsider some
That's
things. But
literally what I thought of. Like, I need to wait and see what the new. I assume there will be a new MC announced, but I guess we'll.
I don't think there is an MC this year. I think
oh
the
yeah, that's right. They're taking a break this year.
They are.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
great.
But I'm sure there will be a new, 1/6 limited scale something that we're, out of the blue that we're not expecting. So, yeah, certainly very excited to see what they've cooked up for us for at Comic-Con. They did tease some of the pieces, I suppose, but yeah, I hope there is something else that we can we can look at.
As far as Weathertop though, I'm excited to get this. It didn't take much to push me over the edge to pre-order because I'm like, "Ugh, I've really wanted Weathertop, and I think the Sideshow Weta is a really fine piece. But I think there's a lot here. I love the trees. They're so spooky. It's such a haunted, cool environment. Um, it's a very, I think it is a pivotal environment for the series. It's not the most exciting to look at, but at the same time, there's a lot there, and um, I'm I'll make an exception for this one, I think. So I've wanted it for quite a while, and I'm glad they just dropped it on us. Like, hey, guess what's coming?
I'm torn
Yeah.
because I ordered it. But I think we've kind of discussed about they did obviously the same thing with Edoras. They just gave you the top of the environment. And I love the fact there we go. Yeah, I love the fact that we get more detail with specific parts of the structure. But if I want an environment, I want the full environment generally. So it just feels like it's fully part of that world. And for me, that shot of Weathertop that you get in the film, that is how you envision Weathertop. So yeah, I am torn.
It's interesting
How I
because
feel.
I totally get where you're saying coming from, Sam. At first, I thought like, oh, it looks like they kind of cut it in half, but
Mm.
I think the difference for me on this is you get to focus more on those ruins, and again, I'm torn, kind of like you. I'm a little more forgiving about this than I am for or than I am for Edoras, for example.
Yes.
I love what they did, but in the end, it wasn't for me, and I wish they had given me the full hill of Edoras. I think this one it gets away with not having the full hill, in my opinion. But I like having the focus on the ruins.
I assume you made that, Julian, right?
Say that again.
Picture on the right.
Yes, yeah. I sort of thought it'd be interesting
Good Photoshop work. I like your transition between the and the thing.
Well, I thought what is interesting is because it is, as we've talked about, it is similar to Edoras, where it's an actual location in New Zealand, which was specifically selected for this incredibly characterful profile silhouette. And the set or the ruin on top of it is the cherry on top of this really memorable silhouette of a location. But it does mean that the ruin becomes a lot smaller, and these are roughly to scale. So what I did was that the Weta piece and the not an actual product piece have the exact same base diameter, but you could see the size of the ruin if they had done the whole piece or the whole rock base. And I think what is interesting is that it would have been roughly 3/4 of the size that it is of the actual product, and the sideshow Weta piece is about half that size. So I guess for collectors who have the sideshow Weta piece, it would not have been a significantly enough difference, and you do get an awful lot of rock. It's a big lump of rock with with the ruin on top. Now I do like that, and because the Weathertop is so memorable as that silhouette, as we've touched. But I think those brilliant videos that they do, I think explained much better why they've done this selection. And it does seem like they really wanted to focus much more on the ruin itself. I suppose the design of the space where the action take place. I mean, looking at those drawings is just architecture porn. They are so good. Seeing the kind of hand drawn plans and sections of the set. And I suppose after seeing that, it explained why they opted for a much bigger, significant scale of the ruin itself, so that you can see, the statues and the masonry and the all of the detail of the set. And it's a lot more like the set. I guess similarly to Edoras, they've taken the approach of let's do the actual location set rather than the location itself. So from that point of view, I think it works for me, and it was that video again that made me pre-order. I was going to refrain, but it does seem the logic of it does seem that does follow.
I guess
I've,
it's
I've
depends what you
yeah, go
prefer
ahead.
in your sorry, man. Didn't mean to interrupt. I was
No,
going
no,
to
go
say, I
ahead. Yeah.
guess it's what you prefer in your environments. Is like obviously it seems like they're starting to kind of really focus in on the more
Yeah.
specific parts. I mean, I don't know if they gave me a choice and they had both in front of me and they were like, which one would you buy?
Yeah.
I would probably buy the one with the full rock on it, because if
Mhm.
I want to look at environment, I want to look at it like the full scale
Yeah.
thing, and it would be the same probably for Edoras. We kind of feel like, Minas Tirith and cutting off. I know there's more detail to it, but like cutting off the bottom few layers of Minas Tirith, but then just having the top part, and I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it, and it's meant to be like the watchtower. And they built the
Yeah.
tower into the rock because they didn't need to build it at the bottom because it was basically already there. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, but I can see their thought process and why they've done it. And I've still ordered it because it still looks great. So can't have too many complaints. But yeah,
I was actually surprised with the price on that. I don't know why in my head I thought it would have been more, but I think it was what,
yeah, I did as well.
something.
550, 549.
Yeah. And it's quite a big size. I mean, it is not. It's probably similar to Helm's Deep in terms of, diameter of that kind of elliptical base. But yeah, I think it is an interesting. It's an interesting choice. I do think that having the whole hill has a kind of is such a memorable image, that I could see why it would have been, and certainly was my instinct as well, that I would have preferred that. But unlike Edoras, where I decided I'm not going to go for it because I think that is problematically small part of Edoras. It's not really Edoras. Um, because I think, Sam, to your point, it is exactly like having just the top three rings of Minas Tirith and not the bottom four. But I think for some reason this one, because of the detail of that's something very different. Because of the detail of the architecture that we're getting,
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. And little LED fire is nice, although it is a little bit unlikely that I'll be having that on very often.
Right.
Before I forget, I think one thing that is worth mentioning, and it was only briefly mentioned in the video, but they said that it was painted as if the light is dusk, which I thought was a really interesting detail. That
Yeah.
actually all of the painting is not, a bright sunny day with, very saturated green. It's a dusky, muted, tone. And I thought that's a lovely detail that really, again, just shows the amount of thought and consideration that goes into these things.
Yeah, that was a really cool detail. Again, like you, the video pushed me over the edge. And then Julian saying, I ordered it. And I'm like, oh, I guess I should too. But I love that detail of like they're doing paint in a way that it's not just like, oh yeah, this is, Weathertop on a, with the sun out at noon. They're
Yeah,
they're making a conscientious effort to paint these environments to give that effect of like
Capture
nighttime
the
is
moment.
coming, something is coming and it's dark, and
yeah, yeah,
that sense of mystery, that haunted feeling. That was
yeah.
so cool. I agree.
Ryan, that's a detail that they've done now twice with the kind of painted reflection of a fire on a rock. They've got it on the Masters collection. What was your impression of that as as a way of showing
Um,
ca
so I mean,
cast
I thought
light?
it was a really cool thing. What this has, benefit to it is it actually has an LED as well.
Yeah.
So it that will definitely help sell it better. I mean, in the Master Collection, there were, I think, some people didn't have it in the way that I did, but it it seemed like there were some parts kind of missing in the paint application for it. Like there were some like lighter spots that didn't kind of really make a lot of sense.
Hmm.
There was almost like a kind of like a hole in the middle of the light. And I mean, granted, I think when you actually hold like a torch or something like up to like a
Yeah.
cave, there actually is like a dark spot at the very center, but like because light cast out from a torch, not directly up.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And so at first I was like, oh, maybe they're trying to be accurate, but then I was like, yeah, maybe that's also just kind of a little painting mistake as well. But I mean, definitely better than nothing, right? I mean, they could have
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
had a torch and then just like the rock and then just like kind of ignored it. But you know,
Yeah.
casting the real light is what sells the moment, and them, trying to make the effort on this piece to
Yeah.
the moment that we associate it for, trying to make it look like that as opposed to just, yeah, like you said, a a day out in the light for, yeah, it really helps to make it seem, you know, from the Lord of the Rings, from what we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting consideration that they're painting these pieces at a particular time, which hadn't really actually come across my mind, for any of these environments. So very, very nice detail.
I will
Mhm.
say, I mean, like literally
Mhm.
that picture you just had up, is there like a green light to the left?
It looks like there is a green light to the left, yeah.
Mhm.
Just a colder kind of something to set that off. Well, since we're by the fire, I thought we'll talk a little bit about this new set that was released. It only came out last month, I think, of the Great Tales by HarperCollins, and more Alan Lee new paintings, which we could never have enough of. So I've got these, and I think they're brilliant. I'm very very happy with them. Certainly couldn't recommend them highly enough. We are getting all of the new paintings from last year's set, which are these, as well as these three new additional pieces. And they seem to be, I suppose, sticking with this format and this kind of language for the kind of deluxe final, best set from HarperCollins. And I think it really works, and I hope they do more of them. I don't know if you guys are picking any of them up.
Me.
God,
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, my set should be arriving next week or the week after, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, I have Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I
Hmm.
will certainly, I I've already pre-ordered The Great Tales.
Hmm.
Um, I just love these editions so much. The artwork can't have too much of Alan Lee, honestly. And it would, oh God, just look at that Gondolin, uh, and all the artwork from the edition last year, which, I have the deluxe slipcase versions that does have some art in it, but it's not to the level like this.
Mm.
And I'm really excited. I'm a sucker for matching sets of books. And
Yes, me too.
it would be an absolute crime if they don't do the Silmarillion in this style. I don't know what Alan Lee, I mean, he would have to do quite a bit. He doesn't often do art from that era of Middle Earth. He does, but it seems few and far between.
Yeah. I was
So
surprised they didn't obviously do Silmarillion first, but I wonder if they're having to wait maybe for Folio Society to do a version. I don't know if there's some contractual thing with Alan.
It's the other way. It's the other way around.
Is it the other way around? Okay.
Yeah, Folio can't do a Silmarillion, as far as I know, Silmarillion with Alan Lee unless HarperCollins have done that as a
Mhm.
set. So I think it's more likely that Folio will do a Great Tales set, matching, a bigger version of this, uh, or they just go with Ted's Silmarillion. But I don't know. It does seem to be a kind of a celebration of Alan's work. So I suspect we may get Unfinished Tales and the Fall of Numenor before we get Silmarillion in this set. But who
isn't
knows?
isn't next year an anniversary, 50th anniversary of
It's
the
the 50th
Silmarillion?
anniversary. It is, yes, yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, if you're going to do it,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
so we'll see. Who knows?
absolutely. I think what's really exciting is, and I haven't followed that particular news, but there was some rumors of Warner Brothers talking to the estate about the Silmarillion rights. And I think what is very exciting is that we're now getting a lot of artwork from that era by the same artists. So I very much hope that, the same way the original trilogy brought to life some of those pieces,
Yeah.
I think we get a similar treatment to the Silmarillion eventually. But I mean, this is probably one of the best Alan Lee pieces of the Great Tale, certainly. So
Even the
very, very
eye.
exciting. Yeah, the reflection of Turin in the eye is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Well, since we are at dragons, we have to touch on this as well, and that is the limited edition Game of Thrones by the Folio Society, which is bound in what they describe as dragon leather.
Real dragon
Um,
leather.
real dragon leather, and certainly the cost of it, suggests that it is real dragon leather. Um, but it is a limited edition of 1,000 pieces, signed by George Martin himself, gold edging, dragon leather covers, no new illustrations for some reason, but a linen map in the box, which they were seem to be particularly pleased about, and a new clamshell box, which I don't particularly like, I must admit. I feel like the clamshell is a different book or a different thing to the kind of book itself. I don't quite know why they made that choice, but the book itself looks incredible. I think the dragon skin effect has been done beautifully, and the gold edging looks great. And I'm sure it'd be a great addition, but yeah, some questionable decisions there, I would say, particularly regarding the clamshell and the lack of new illustrations. Um, have any of you guys actually read Game of Thrones?
I have not.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I've read all of them. And like everybody else, I'm waiting. But
Yes.
it's fine. I can't deny that they're terrific books. As
Hmm.
much as I'd be upset with Mr. Martin.
Hmm.
Um, but as far as this edition goes, like I don't deny how beautiful and all the craft and technique to create that book, the dragon skin.
Hmm.
Uh, the clamshell is not for me.
No.
Feel like it's a distraction from the book itself. Um, I I also agree that the lack of new artwork is a bit of a miss. I feel like
Mm.
if you're really going to separate this from what Folio has already done
Hmm.
with the Song of Ice and Fire series, provide more art.
Yeah.
Do something a little different. Like all this is very much in line with what they've already done in the standard edition, which I have, and it's gorgeous, and I have no desire to spend the money to buy this. Um, there's a lot of conflicting emotions about this. And it makes me wonder, like, do they plan on doing the other four in this style? Like,
I can't
do
see it. Yeah.
I, yeah,
It's an
I
odd
don't know.
decision, I think. It's kind of it's not quite the same as what HarperCollins did because I don't think the HarperCollins product was particularly good, whereas this actually looks genuinely amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I just don't understand. I feel like there's just a massive oversight on who's actually going to want to buy it when they've already got it's basically the same thing. It just doesn't look as
Yeah.
pretty, I guess. But
Now, all this to say, the day could come and it sells out like that.
yeah,
I could
Hmm.
see that too,
yeah.
because people love Game of Thrones. So who knows?
Then the
But
price just seems kind of crazy as well. I thought that wasn't expecting.
that
I mean, the price in dollars is, oh, I think $2,250. In the UK, it's £1,500. Um, I I don't know who. It's the same with the HarperCollins chest of drawers that they offered us last year. But like, why do you go to this amount of work to make this amazing cover and then put it in a box, not a
Yeah,
slipcase that you can't actually see, on your shelf, the actual dragon skin.
because
You will be seeing this kind of light box rather than the actual, real effort.
but
I
there's
think the
also
clamshell looks cool, but they could have done it as like you said, as a slipcase.
Yeah,
there's also a
yeah.
linen map though.
Yeah,
There is,
well, that's what
yes.
the map was made of because that might sell.
Uh, yeah,
That might help.
I
It's an odd one.
it's a little odd. I'm a little indifferent.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
I
hope it
don't know.
does well, but
I do too. I hope it does well for them.
if you're a big Game of Thrones fan, I suppose it is gonna be a grail piece with Martin's signature, and in 100 years' time, it'll be a very, very sought after artifact. But for what it is, and considering I get the sense none of us are equally as invested in the Song of Ice and Fire world as we are in Tolkien. So it doesn't feel like $2,000 worth spending.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that was $2,000.
It is. These kind of fine press editions are you know as expensive, if not much more expensive than the crazy expensive statues that we've been looking at. Some of the and we are gonna go on to it. Here it is, the the Curious King books edition of Earthsea, a Wizard of Earthsea. which is upcoming, and they've started to tease the images of Tom Kidd of this edition. They usually come in three states: a lettered, a deluxe, and a classic kind of edition. And some of those lettered editions could be $5,000, $6,000, for one of. I don't know what the cost of this one will be, but it does look beautiful. I think Tom Kidd is a brilliant, brilliant illustrator. He did The Last Unicorn for Suntop editions, and it is gorgeous. And from what I can see of this, I think it's going to be equally beautiful.
Yeah, usually the middle tier, lettered thousands. The middle
Yeah,
tier, roughly any kind of comparable edition from other companies, it's usually like anywhere from $700 to $1,000. But
yeah, yeah,
I could be totally surprised when this gets released. And then the classic kind of standard edition, that's usually like 100 to a couple $100, maybe a little more, but not by much. Um, I When they announced this last year that they were doing this, I was like, oh yes. Um, I I'm gonna They're limited editions, like they only make so many of them. I
yeah.
don't know how quickly they sell out with Curious King. I've never bought them
Minutes.
directly from them.
Hmm.
Because I did buy earlier this year their edition of Red Rising, but that's in collaboration with Lit Escalates.
Hmm.
So it was a bit of a different thing, I felt, from what Curious King maybe already does. Now, if I'm wrong, totally willing to be wrong, but um, I think this is more so directly from Curious King, solely from them. Um, and it
I
looks,
would say, sorry to interrupt, Alan. I would say prepare yourself for the first half an hour,
yeah,
because it will be gone.
yeah.
Even if it's only a few hundred editions in the classic edition, I think this will sell out within probably minutes, but likely in the first hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna brace myself for that day because I really do. I would love to have a really nice edition of Earthsea. And I think he had a breakdown too. The owner of Curious King, he's like, this is what we're expecting. Like how many, like 26 of the lettered edition, and
Yeah,
then 250 or something of the middle tier, and then
yeah,
750 of the classic tier.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I
I'm
I, I think the classic tiers. I mean, certainly it's what I'll be looking at, but
Me too.
this looks remarkable.
Yeah, it does. The art is just so good. It looks that classic fantasy vibe. Um,
Hmm.
it's clicking pressing all the buttons for me. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it looks great. And I do have the folio set, but something about the illustration seems really really lovely. And I've only just watched the Studio Ghibli movie. It's on Netflix, Tales of Earthsea. And it seems to capture a similar kind of dreamy, colorful, very, very different kind of atmosphere than, Middle Earth or Westeros.
yeah,
But from what I've know, it is kind of one of the great, fantasy series of, the 20th century. So certainly look forward to getting stuck into it. And what a great addition to have to look
yeah.
at. Well, that brings us to the end of the slideshow. That was a bit of a marathon session, I feel. Um,
Great job. There was
what
a lot
what?
to talk about.
Yes, yeah. We haven't done one of these in 6 months or so, so it feels
Oh,
like that's a half a year's worth of stuff.
well,
Um, What's the highlight? What are you most excited for out of these? What do you think is the best kind of thing that we've looked at, or maybe that is to yet be kind of to be released?
Hmm.
Does anything stand out particularly?
I
There's
mean, for
just
me, probably oddly enough, the Deagle and Smeagol. Uh, I think that's the most interesting piece that I think that Weta has made in a while. But that, I mean, some of the other things, I'm not a big Game of Thrones man. I've seen the show, obviously, but
Mhm.
Tale of Earth and Sea. I think I saw that the movie, but don't really know
Yeah,
too much about it either. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead, Julian.
No, go ahead, Adam. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, Smeagol and Deagle agreed. I think
Mhm.
that is like one of the most interesting things. It's so kind of out of left field, like who I it was fun to like speculate, like, wouldn't it be cool if they did that opening scene somehow as a statue? And there it is. What a pivotal moment. Um, I'm really excited for that, and I'm really pumped for Weathertop.
Mhm.
Uh, so those two are really the most exciting statues as of right now. Uh, Earthsea for sure. The Great
Mhm.
Tales. Um, those are really what I'm looking forward to. And I'm bracing myself for whatever happens at San Diego Comic-Con. There might, who knows if there's something there that I'm just like, well, I'm going to drop a couple grand today. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm sure there
nervous.
will be. Yeah, yeah. We're coming into that final 2 week period where you just don't know what's behind the corner. But yeah,
you guys pre-ordered Elrond?
yeah,
Yes.
I have. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
I think that's probably one of my most anticipated
That's
pieces this year.
my new favorite thing. I'm waiting
Yeah,
to go.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
for L.
yeah. I think out of these, I uh, I surprised myself as I'm saying it, but I think the most impressive one to my eyes is Treebeard. I think I mean, with the caveat that I wouldn't get it, I think it is. I think they've done a really, really great piece, and yeah, it's there's something about it that they've not all of their pieces capture that kind of Middle Earth feel. I think they've managed with this one, um, and I hope that their production piece, delivers on their prototype promise. But I think that is really really excellent. I think from the books definitely Earthsea I'm very very excited for, and I'm very excited to see what Ruben's prints also are like, and whether he has any other paintings that he's done. But yes, I think it's been a really really bumper year this year so far. As I was putting this together, I was thinking, goodness, I didn't realize there's so much being announced in 6 months. So yeah, Sam, what about you?
I mean, I love that more Alan Lee. Alan Lee is always, whenever I see his
Mm,
artwork, I always find it really inspiring. But I mean, this so far this year, there's nothing that's jumped out at me, and I've been like, wow, immediately I have to get this.
mhm.
Obviously, I'm excited for Weathertop, despite the slight disappointment not having the full thing. I'm after seeing the artwork for Earthsea, I am tempted, which is annoying because I've just completed the folio set for that as well. But
Yes.
Tom's artwork seems, yeah, that's exactly kind of how you want to imagine it. Whereas the folio artwork, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
just doesn't quite give you the vibe kind of necessarily that you want. But yeah, I'm still kind of, and I think, yeah, I think overall, objectively, the Smeagol and Deagle piece is incredible. So I will
Hmm.
look forward to you guys getting that, so I can see your reactions to it, because I have to draw the line somewhere. I can't collect everything. So yeah, I'll. There's a lot of things I think people should be excited about, but I'm still waiting for something to come out this year for me where I'm like, okay, that's an immediate
Mhm.
purchase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it feels like we should hopefully get at least another environment. I know Lothlorien's been kind of continuously talked about as everybody's kind of dream piece, but I don't know whether they'll be doing that, or maybe another Elven realm of some sort. We'll just have to wait and see. I do wish they did the kind of reveal that they did last year with the Green Dragon and Kirisongol. I thought that was brilliant. It does no harm. I don't know why they wouldn't.
People
It
prepare,
gets you
right?
excited. Exactly, you can prepare and you can get excited very
Yeah.
early on. Um,
Yeah.
I do hope they do more polls. I think that would be great. But yeah, it's been a good first half of the year, I think, overall.
Yeah.
What is everybody most looking forward to receiving? I think these are things that have yet to be pre-ordered. But what are you guys receiving in the coming months?
Hopefully Elrond. That's pretty much my big
Yeah.
thing I'm waiting for now. So
Hmm.
Elrond soon. I guess maybe the last quarter of the year, maybe. We'll see.
Hmm.
Elrond, waiting for Tigana to finally
Oh
show
yes,
up.
yeah.
Conversation through press. I guess
That's
it's
down to October now. Yeah.
October now. Um, Other than that, not a whole lot.
Hmm.
I'm okay with that. It's been nice. It's been a really good year. I think to slow down, to
Mm.
appreciate what you have. I'm glad these releases are a little more spread out. Um,
did
Yeah.
any of you guys get that the new Smaug Fire Drake, like just the head
oh, the
of it?
Oh, the
bust.
portrait. Yeah, yeah.
I was
I
tempted
haven't
to.
ordered it. Hmm.
That's
I haven't
Go ahead.
ordered it
one
yet
of my
either.
things that I'll definitely probably pick up on a Black Friday. I think it's open edition too.
It
Yeah,
is, yeah.
yeah, yeah. The red one, not the gold one. The gold one's limited, but I'm not particularly interested in the gold one.
Uh, yeah, if I want to get it, then I want to get the real looking one. But
Yeah.
The red one. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Sam, what about you?
Tigana.
Hmm.
And I know it's next year, but obviously we've got Wise Man's Fear and Lions from
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Grimlock. But I've also got a bunch of models from my Games Workshop collection that I'm getting pro painted by a guy, and he's doing. I think I've showed you a couple of you guys. He's doing the Glorfindel one for me,
Yeah.
Hmm.
which looks amazing. So
Hmm.
I'm really looking forward to getting those, and starting to kind of get my collection painted up, so which will look much better than just having kind of grey figures on the shelf. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And this new painter looked really good. Those two prototypes looked fantastic.
They do.
yeah. He's really good, and what I like about him with all the different factions, if you like, he does the base of each model like to resemble that faction. So
Hmm.
like Rivendell's going to have kind of green and kind of amber leaves, whereas Lothlorien will have like golden leaves, and he might do
Hmm.
white
Hmm.
flowers and stuff for Gondor and things like that. So yeah, he's very creative in that way. So quite excited.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure we'll reconvene after Comic Con to review and to consider what's been announced. And we've got another 6 months before the end of the year. But I think it's been a good year so far. And hopefully, I think Adam, as you say, it's good to slow down a little bit, take stock of what you already have, and space is not unlimited. So I think choices are good in some ways. We can't get everything. So yeah, I think it's good to be in a position that also some of these releases come up and you don't worry that they're going to be sold out within the first hour. So I think that's all positive from a long-term collector point of view. So all very exciting. And just before I forget to mention, we're yet to see the Syzygy Forge Kickstarter, but that is hopefully going to come up this month. It was meant to come out last month, but we'll just have to wait and see. I think that is probably going to be my release of the year, but we'll just have to see whenever it does come out. Yes, very, very, very excited for it. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for your time. I hope it's been fun and enjoyable, and we'll certainly be doing more of these over the coming months. And I think we'll have, it's fair to say, some very special guests as well, which you'll know more of as soon as we're able to reveal them. But thanks everybody for your time. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you again next time.
All right.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.